Second-year man out of Auburn. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Check 50, check 50.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Pushing tap. He's got a convoy and he might be gone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And personally, what a start for him to get in the end zone from that distance here on the first drive.
And it has the defense tearing up their defensive goals for the game, doesn't it? Because nowadays, when we talk to all the coaches, they don't talk about limiting yards per carry and those things. They just talk about limiting explosive plays, whether it's through the air or on the ground. And anything an explosive play on the ground, usually, 10, 12-yard runs? This one was way more than that. They've got to go back to the drawing board and try and shut it down.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. They'll be led out by the all-time passing leader in NFL history at 40 years of age now, Drew Brees.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
Well, he got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against... good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Brees to throw. He's got his rookie tight end. That's Herb Smith Jr. A gain of 37.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Now Brees. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And the QB rating right now, sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. And we look now at the Lions offense.
If there's ever such a thing as a downside to such a nice drive, it's that we didn't get a chance to talk about them earlier. But I would have said, keep an eye on this offensive line and let's see how it performs. And so far, so great, because they've already gotten their running back into the end zone.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Jones has it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 3 down, 3 down.
C.J. Anderson with it. Of course, a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl last year. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
95-56, 95-56.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Breeze. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right, the social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
These two teams all tied after one.
Check back 40. Check back 40. Watch QB draw. Watch QB draw.
On first down, Stafford here. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball to hit. Hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands, downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. Two not to miss to close out Week 6. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half. Unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. He's going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They felt he can win every battle.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On second down, here's Barkley. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Move. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
From the gun, it's Breeze. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley. His first touchdown on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again, Stafford. And he gets it to C.J. Anderson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first. Oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On second down now, Barkley. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Stafford on first down. This complete to Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. And Anderson's got it.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? To throw again on second down. Stafford. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
It's caught. Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a first down throw. Stafford. James has got it. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Stafford looks to throw again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
A big play there on the catch and run. 40 yards. Now a play fake. Breeze. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Breeze now. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This one taken from the 7. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go, big shot. Let's go.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw, it's Breeze. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Let's go.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll go to Barkley again. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions 36.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Breeze now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now we'll get a delay here as they try to give themselves a little more room for the punt. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
And they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Here's Matt Weil now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing now is Breeze. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Trey Flowers picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run the counter now. It's Anderson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the 50, Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them. When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Now Breeze on third down. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Trent Taylor, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out now come the Lions. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Amendola, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Second and 10, Stafford again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Vikings to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Ready? You ready? We own it!
Breeze now on first down. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking downfield for Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And that is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I...
And this is caught inside the 5. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
At the 19-yard line.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford, he completes it to Jones. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And it's caught here, Amendola. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Stafford to his tight end, James, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford. Little short pass to James. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Pass from Stafford, caught by Amendola. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Anderson. He's got it on the draw. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll move them back within 6 now. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully. Yeah,
and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Breeze going to throw. He's got Smith here. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down. Got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
A first down carry for Barkley. And an alley to run. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run it again with Barkley. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Now Breeze. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So Stafford and the Lions now down by 12, under a minute 20 to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. On first down, it's Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off around the 27. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Tavon Wilson up to make the tackle. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Here's Breeze to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in, and the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.